Welcome everyone, it's Faith Fisher Drakomar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. We are going to be beginning our final climb up the tower. Sadly, we won't be able to get to the very top. But we will get close if we manage to get past all these keys. The biggest stumbling block, if you will, was the biggest stumbling block had to be the scarab, obviously. Scarab was always, and has always been, the biggest stumbling block of this rotation for this account. Because the Scarab, it's very difficult to make a team with the right stats and stuff that doesn't get completely creamed by the Scarab. Soloing Scarab with Vergus is probably the most convenient strategy, and even then, that means you have to, if you haven't raised a Vergus, you have to then raise the Vergus up from an egg, and then from there, like, do a whole bunch of maniacal stuff. To get to the top, you know? Is it easy to do this? Hell no, it's not. Are the rewards most of the time worth it? Yes. What is up with the bombs? See, this is the thing. This is why Gaius and all these fusions are going on. Is because Plarium is really interested in getting the bomb meta back. Like, they're trying to do everything, but I feel like they should make permanent fusions with bombs in it. You know? Permanent fusions. Or put more passives where bombs are useful. Because you really need a lot of uses for bombs before you can really get it into the meta. Because right now it's only really useful versus champions. There's a reason I did that. It's because bombs do a lot of damage to champions. You do have to take them seriously. They're just not useful versus bosses. They're useful in like arena only content. Which is crazy to say, but that's exactly what bomb's biggest problem is it's only really useful in arena only content. And only if you really land the bombs. That's the truth of bombs. Also, if the bombs are resisted, if you don't have enough accuracy, you're usually up a creek. Now, Gaius does have a compensatory strategy for this. And the compensatory strategy goes like this. The compensatory strategy goes like this. let's try it again a little bit differently. Drop. Get the decrease defense. Get that in there with the turn meter. Provoke. Acid rain that. Let's see if we can take out one of them. The main problem here is making sure that the revive is out of the picture. That's the main issue here. What is that resist, man? Dear Lord. Here's the deal. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to do the key because it's only 11 hours. If I sleep for 11 hours, it's over. It's actually over. So I've got to do as much. I got to see if I can burn up all my keys tonight. That's the ultimatum here. I have to burn all my keys tonight. So that I do the most that I can do given the fact that I got wrecked on I kind of got wrecked on Scarab a number of times. Scarab is probably the biggest one with this account because I needed Vergus really to make it possible because otherwise my Scarab options were relatively weak. You know? That was the real issue here. The Scarab options were relatively weak, and that really impacted how much progress I could make, you know? Because Scarab... What about Scarab? Man, the amount of fears. Can we get this buff off? No. There's a reason I'm targeting her. Because I know she's the way out. The only real way out is to try to get her to stop. I want to get some damage off on him. Main thing here to kill is the Elder Skargs. Because the Elder Skargs are the biggest problem by far of their team. You really want the Elder Skargs dead. more than these guys, because these guys are not that deadly. They're deadly, but they're not an instant problem. Elder Skarg, being a very powerful legendary, especially in arena, is he's a high priority target, to say the least. Alright, so lifesteal. We're obviously going to want to target the Sky Touched, because without that, you're gonna have a bad time. My main thing is I want to kill them once so that their revive goes down. And then once the revive is off cooldown, we can make some headway. Because we're not making any headway as is. We got to provoke. Perfect. We got the provoke on the person I wanted the most to be provoked, is her. Because once you provoke the reviver, they can't revive. Pro tip. But yeah, Rosin is great for Doom Tower in general. I mean, so is Magnar, but I just don't have him geared in optimal gear. I mean, Rosin's gear is not optimal either, but it's better than what... It's shockingly better than what he has at the Magnar. I am thinking of putting Rosin in full Savage when I get the right quality Savage. So we'll be able to beat this boss, be able to go up here. So Sacred Order. I got an okay-ish Sacred Order. The problem is I stripped my Armiger. That's part of the problem. We'll try it. If this fails, we'll do some other stuff. I like how this is a repeat of a floor that's below. We're going to want to remove the Companions of Fate people. Okay, well, it's settled then. I need Ally Protect here, or a team, or a Revive, or both. You know, I actually want to try Vergus in here, Just because I put so much effort into making Vergus work that, you know, I'd like to see him used elsewhere. Yeah, no. You know, if I put that much effort into making that work, you know, I might as well use him elsewhere. Because I put a fair amount of resources into him. I'm not going to lie. I did. But his main purpose has been served, which his main purpose is to deal with Scarab. Because Scarab is a reoccurring boss in a lot of Doom Tower rotations, unfortunately. There are exceptions. Like the dreaded Bommel rotation. Whereby I may end up having to develop a Templar on here. The other account, unless there is an exception. Unless I get the exception is unless I get a Paragon or a Demetha, we may end up using... Because I want to try Paragon and Demetha versus Bommel. Because both seem very likely. But yeah, this one's going to have to resort to the Templar cheese. 100%, unless that happens. It's not my favorite way, but it's probably the only method that's actually going to, like, you know, work. And the thing is, I actually did have to... Oh boy. Do I have to bring in Taragi? Or something? I might have to bring in Taragi. We'll see. We'll see, but it'll be up to these beef boys to see if they can clear it themselves. Because here's the thing. These beefy boys can take a beating. Dregstar and Razin. It's one thing that makes them extremely powerful is they can take a beating and keep on chucking and chucking and chucking and chucking until you want to chuck something at a wall. Like, they're very strong defensively. Situationally, as you saw here, they're actually stronger than Vergus defensively. Situationally. Especially versus Magic Affinity champs. They're an incredibly powerful counter versus Magic Affinity. Which is why, if you buff with increased defense, increased crit rate, you can mess up stuff. I might have to go for a crazy setup. So, crazy setup goes like this. So we go Taragi in the front. Hell, I'll put Razin in the front. And then, like, Maybe V6 for the provoke. I don't think V6 or another ally protect. I'm going to try putting an ally protect that's actually geared and ally protect stuff, so we got double ally protect. This double ally protect might facilitate this. Now the reason maybe putting rosin in the front was a bad plan. Yeah, I think that was a bad plan. Because the problem is, with that, they'll all take the fire. I don't think... So I'm going to have him as the aura lead. Because I think, honestly, that's going to give me the most chance here. The reason I'm not even going for a decreased defense is because I need something, the ability to tank. That's the problem. Is this enough healing, though, is the real question. Man, they do some mad damage. Like, this is what makes this so hard. You know? Like, these guys do some mad damage. Okay, it's official. We need 3 nukers. I think. 3 damage dealers. I'm using Magnar, though. I'm going to try this setup, and then I'm going to try Ally Protect. Like, these waves are really obnoxious, if you couldn't already tell. If you couldn't already tell... This might be the ticket. Mainly because I do think that Magnar can get through this. Because Magnar has an increased aura and stuff. Or not just aura, like he's just very good in Doom Tower. We want to kill this Horde's Fury guy because he is a pain to deal with. Like a pain. Yeah, it looks like. I may have to resort to some dank shenanigans to get past this. At least he's healing. At least he's healing. So he'll be able to get to the next area. The final. My main thing is to get these healing reduction nut bars out of here. That's my main objective. Maybe get Magnar into the picture. Because I know all these burns are going to help Magnar a lot. Let's try to get rid of this guy, though. I think he's actually a real problem. The real test is here. Can we get past this BS? Let's first go for the healing reduction. Okay, so that did not work. So instead, we'll cram it to the ceiling. We'll have two different team comps that cram it to the ceiling. Reason? Maximum survivability. That's the main purpose here. To survive. That is our main purpose here. That is the main purpose of this team, is to survive. So this is kind of a late game setup, but in this situation it feels warranted given how phenomenally tanky and infuriating these enemies are. gonna try to get rid of this Companion of Fate BS. If I can get rid of... I think the Kalia is her name. I think we have it in the bag. It's still dicey, but I'm seeing the light. I see that we might be able to beat this. Just maybe. These Elenarls are really running me for the loop. I'm telling you. Elenarl is such a pain in my rear. Fun fact, you can actually empower Alexander the Sharpshooter with Elenarls. Not that you would, because Elenarl is actually the better champ, but you can. Man. Wow. Okay, so... let's try a crazier team. Crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened. Maybe perma-provoke is the answer. Provoke and decrease turn meter. Maybe that's the answer. The reason that Versulf here is useful is because he puts that increased defense on everyone, which is exactly what you want. Because increased defense is going to buff these two in the back significantly. So we're going to want to go to this Horde's Fury guy. And then for her. And then for the Elenarls. I think I like the Visix in this setup better because Visix stops the setup too much. Because that's what you want. You don't want the main thing you don't want is for this to get established. And Visix stops that from getting established by getting the provoke into the rest of it. So that, I think, is going to be the best strategy here. Is to shut that down before it gets off the ground. See? By putting the provoke and then decrease speed straight away, Visix can once again keep the enemies under control. So that's why Visix is useful in certain situations, because there's situations where you want to support not just to cleanse or heal, you want them to control the narrative. If you don't control the narrative, the enemies will run all over you. And you don't want a level 225 Lanicus to run all over you. You really don't. And dealing with its turn meter is important. So that's floor 108 down. Floor 109. If I can get here, it'll only be 10 floors from the top, but I think that's where the story ends. Because I didn't hoof it enough before, and because I got stuck on Scarab. Getting stuck on Scarab was a death sentence for that. But it'll eventually come back. In the meantime, I have to figure out how to beat the harder rotations. Like the Celestial Griffin, who I have yet to figure out how to defeat the higher versions of it on any account. Let's try for it anyway. On second thought, I'm going to go change up some stuff. So we got Visix. We have to get turn meter control into the mix. Because I don't see how else we're going to do it. I don't see it. And I certainly don't see how Kale's going to make it through. I don't. So I'm thinking floor 110 is Magma Dragon if I got the right of it. I mean, I've got an okay team for it. But I'm going to have to go all provoke champs. That's the reality of it. And no burns, so no Drex. No Drex, no Cecilia. None of that. First things first, we're going to want to go after these Sky Touched. Now, the reason I'm hesitating versus the Mortus is I'm very afraid of Mortu in general. Because the Mortus and this floor are something else, as you may have surmised. I don't know how they broke free of that, but I am not letting them continuously break free of that. Oh, I really don't like the look of this. Don't like the look of this. Don't like the look of this. Can we get past this? No, there's more Mortus. Okay. Okay. You got me. I've got a plan. I don't like this plan, but this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to actually have to bring him in. Gonna actually have to bring him in. I don't like this, but we gotta try. We gotta try to bring the Mortu into the equation. How do they do so much damage? Okay. I'm gonna try something. This is so hard, actually. Like, legitimately. This is legitimately brutal. Legitimately. Like, I'm not even making this up. I'm not even making this up. This is legitimately terrible. Here's the crazy part about this whole thing. If I could make Visix somehow invincible to these enemies, that would make this a lot easier. The question is, can I get past this point? Can the peril finish? Okay. Note to self, their peril does more than mine. Note. Noted. Let's try a lot of stuff with provokes in it. I think that's going to do the best. Because I think it's trying to test me on how much provoke I have on my team, maybe. Maybe that's what it's doing. How much ally protect and healing do I have? Maybe that's what it's testing. Because usually when it comes to this, it's trying to test you on something. And I think that's what it's trying to test me on. It's amazing how much they do, honestly. In terms of damage, each takes a bite, and they take the whole pie. Because I think the next boss is either Nether Spider or Magma Dragon. But I'm inclined to think it's Magma Dragon. Given the fact it's floor 110. Thinking it's Magma Dragon. Okay, I probably should have put the ally protect up, but I figured it out. I think. I mean, I gotta probably build my Visix a little tankier than normal. Like, she's a bit stat hungry because she likes accuracy with extreme durability. Same with Taragi, they both want accuracy with that. If I could somehow magically get 70k HP on everyone, that would be ideal. Because almost everyone in this tower has like unbelievable amounts of damage and is unbelievably tanky. So what I'm going to want to do is I don't know what to do with this. Like, the amount of cleansing, man. Okay, yeah. What do I want to do with this? What did I do before? I had Gnarlhorn. Yeah, I think I had a lot of provokes. I think I'm going to have to go for a full provoke team. Maybe with a side of Mortu, but I don't know. Or maybe her to get the... I think my biggest problem is I haven't built a Gnarlhorn. Vergus won't work because Vergus gets countered. I'm gonna go try to control the narrative here. Maybe that was the wrong call. Remove that instantly. I hate on the one guy it resisted. That was the one that got me. And then he resisted that too. Wow. He moved despite being feared. What kind of madness is this? Try to kill one more two at a time. I guess in the end I need the gnarl horn. Let me check that team again. So, what was it again? So, him, Deacon, Ally Protect. I guess I can try this mix. I don't know if it'll work. Actually, this is a bad plan. So, we're going to want to keep Visix in the mix. I'll kill for that. We want him for that. Let's try this. Why does he live for so long? I'm going to target the revivers. I think I need to re-gear my Madame Ceres is getting wrecked too easily. She's not the answer to the scarab question anyway. Fergus is the answer to the scarab question, at least for the foreseeable future. In the next episode, I'm going to be continuing to see if I can get to what I believe is Magma Dragon. And I will see you all then. Hopefully, I'll actually get there.